Thank you so much for joining me for this full-length Pilates mat class. Today we're focusing on legs. I'm starting with my ring to assist the ballet stretch series that we're going to do before we start class. Since it's all about legs, we're going to stretch out the legs a little bit. It is the only time we're going to be using the ring. So if you do not have one, or if you do not have one handy, please don't stress. You can modify for these stretches. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, hold on to my ring, and start on my back. Woo. Even though this is a leg class, we are going to be getting a full body workout today. I'm going to extend my left leg long. I'm going to press down through the hamstring and the calf and the back of my leg and the heel. I'm going to draw my right knee into my chest without tucking and extend my right leg up a little bit. Place my foot in the pad closer to my toes and extend my foot up to the ceiling. I want to try to make sure that my hips are even and I'm not hiking one hip. I have my hands holding on to the pad so that my palms are facing me, so it's easier to pull my shoulders away from my ears. Now try to press energy through your heel so you can feel it all the way down the back of your leg. Again, don't tuck. If you start to bend your knee, you're most likely tucking. So go ahead and really press down through the back of that leg. Try to drive that heel up, 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 and now point the foot and flex the foot, driving energy through the heel. And point, and flex. Point, and flex, point, and flex. One more, point, and flex. Now, leave your left hand in the ring, palm facing you. Flip your right hand to a T, palm up. Without lifting your hip, pull that leg across the midline of the body, so towards the left side. And go ahead and look towards that right hand for a little tiny cervical stretch. Pardon me, my glasses were pressing into my eyelashes. We're gonna hold it here for a few minutes. Again, don't yank down on the ring. Try not to manhandle your leg or tuck your tail. If you don't have a ring, you can hold on behind your thigh. I prefer to hold on behind the thigh rather than the calf, especially at the beginning of class, because I find that the tendency to round your shoulders is greater throughout the whole class if you're holding up too high. All right, I'm going to place my right hand in the ring, flip the palm towards me. I'm going to bring my left hand out to a T, palm up. I'm going to bring my leg right to the side of my body. We don't want to bring it so far that we rock onto our right side, right? We want to keep equal weight in the back of both of our hip bones. So just bring it out a little bit and then bend the elbow towards the knee to pull the ring up, or to pull the foot up closer to the ear, sorry. But squeeze under the arm so that shoulder doesn't pop up. Try to drive energy through that heel again. Ooh, I felt my leg go down a little bit too far. And I felt my hip start to go up. So I'm going to pull my foot up a little higher and see if I really pull down with that left side and really press down with that left leg. All right, bring the leg back up your center. Take the ring off. Bend the left leg onto the mat. Take the right knee, bend it, turn the knee out to the side. Place the leg across the bend. Place your right calf across your left thigh. Now you don't want it to be on your right ankle or your left knee. So on the right shin, on the left thigh, so that nothing's sickling and we're not pressing into any joints. You can walk your foot in closer to your glutes. If this is good enough and you can feel a nice stretch here, that's great. Again, try to make sure you're not hiking a hip. Otherwise, rise to the ball of your foot, lift your leg up, thread your right hand through your right leg and your left leg. Take your left hand to the outside of your left leg and pull in gently. Try to keep your shoulder blades flat. Again, guys, try to keep equal weight in both of your hips so you're really getting a really pretty deep hip stretch here. I understand that a lot of people really like to round. Let's see if we can keep it nice and flat and neutral for this stretch and see if we can find the stretch here. If you need a little bit more, bend your elbows down towards the mat to pull the legs in while keeping a nice neutral spine still. One more nice deep breath. Now, place the left foot down. Take the right leg off the left leg. Ooh, that was really a chore to get that whole stretch in today, right? Just spit it out. All right. I'm going to extend the right leg long. Really press in through the hamstring, the calf, the heel, on the right leg, really finding a nice neutral spine. I'm going to bend the left leg in. Don't hike the hip to do it, right? Extend it just a little bit and then place the foot on the pad of the ring. Both hands in the ring, palms towards you. Really shoot energy out through that left heel. One leg is always more flexible than the other leg. I find that on my left leg too, my hip really wants to hike. A few more nice deep breaths. And now we're going to point the foot and flex the foot, driving through the heel. Here's 2. Really press that right leg and flex. 2 more and flex. 1 more. All right, now take your right hand in the middle of the pad of the ring, palm towards you. Left hand out to a T, palm up. Without lifting that left hip, draw that left leg to the right side of the body across the midline. Look over at your left hand that's in the T for a nice cervical stretch. Squeeze under the arm to drive the shoulder away from the ear. We're going to stay here for a couple nice deep breaths. Try to keep that left hip down, guys. One more. Now come back up to the center. Replace your right hand with your left hand, palm facing towards you. Right hand out to the T, palm up. Bring the leg just a little bit to the outside of the body. Again, we don't want to come so far that we rock up off of that hip, right? We want a nice inner thigh stretch. So bring it just a little bit and then bend the elbow towards the knee to really increase that stretch here. Partway through the stretch, I always feel my hips starting to float, and then I have to pull it back up and readjust again. That's not a problem. Go ahead and just readjust to really keep that stretch and try not to hike the hips. I just noticed my left hip was wanting to hike again. A few more breaths. All right, bring the foot back up to the center. Remove the ring, bend the right leg and place the foot flat on the mat. Turn out, bend the left leg in a figure 4, and above the left ankle, place it below the knee on the right thigh. All right, walk that heel in a little bit, see if this is the stretch you like. Again, if your hip's wanting to hike on this side, it'll definitely want to hike in this stretch, so definitely be careful of that, right? If you can go a little further, go ahead and rise up to the ball of your foot first to really make sure your hips are staying square. Place your hands behind your thigh. Go ahead and drop your shoulders down your back. Try not to round. And really breathe into the stretch. Try to keep a nice neutral spine here, guys. Okay, we're going to be doing 4 series of sideline legs today. We're going to be doing them on the forearms. It's going to begin after this stretch. If at any time you feel it start to hurt in your neck, please no longer do the exercises on your forearm. We're doing it on our forearms, a side strengthening exercise to really work on our lats and pulling our shoulders away from our ears. But if this is not optimal for you, go ahead and lie down on this side. Okay, release the hands, place the foot flat, release that left leg. I'm going to roll onto my right side. These exercises were designed to roll from side to side to do them. I'm going to flip my body to face the camera every time so you don't have to look at my hiney while I'm doing the exercises. But if you want to flip as well, you're welcome to. The first exercises we're going to do are clam. I like to line the back of my body up with the mat. I place my shoulder directly under my elbow. Now, if you have shoulder issues, or if you find at any time during the exercises that it starts being too much for your shoulders, lie down on your side, take your arm, bend it in, and make it into a little pillow. Try not to crunch forward in the exercise. Try to keep your head in line with your shoulders in line with your hips. And then anything below that, right? Anything that you have going on below that, or you choose to have going on below that, is great. But squeeze under your arm and lift up. I'm going to come to a 90-degree bend from my body to my thighs, 90 degrees from my thighs to my calves, and I'm going to flex my feet. I'm going to pull my feet up off the mat a few inches. Now from there, I'm going to pull my legs apart by rotating the femur in the hip socket, and I'm going to squeeze them together with my inner thighs. Pull it apart and squeeze it together. I'm drawing the belly to the spine. I'm wrapping my ribs. I'm really squeezing my glutes. It's a full body exercise, guys. You can really squeeze under the arm. You can place your hand on your hip. You can place it gently in front. Don't round in on that arm though, right? One more, and we're gonna add on. Now, I'm going to open my legs. I'm going to point my foot and kick at an angle, right? I don't want to rock back on my hips here. Then I'm going to bring my foot back in. I'm going to bring the insides of my feet back together and squeeze my legs close. Pull my legs apart, point my foot, kick. Reconnect my feet and squeeze. And kick and close and squeeze. Open and kick and lower and squeeze. Open and kick and lower and squeeze. Ooh, if you do a little sing-song with it, it might hurt a little less. Here's 8. The reason I'm kicking out at an angle is so that I don't feel it in my back. Good. Now from there, I'm going to roll onto my back, platform my arms by my side. I'm going to bring my heels in close to my glutes. We're going to be doing some bridge work in between the clam exercises. So I'd like for my legs to be no wider than my sits bones apart. So my heels should be lining up with my sits bones. I don't want my legs to flop out to the side or knock into each other when I do these exercises. So I really have to make sure they're staying nice and aligned. Platform your arms by your side. Give your elbows a tiny little bend to the side so you can really platform down through the shoulder blades. We're going to do 5 articulation bridges. Inhale, exhale, in front of the spine, tuck the tail, lift it up, 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 up. Make sure that you're not arching in your back here. So really keep the ribs drawn together. A nice drop of the belly button to the spine and articulate back down. If you find that you have trouble figuring out when you arch, go ahead and place your thumb on the bottom of your ribs and your pinky on your hips. Now in front of the spine, tuck the tail, articulate up. Don't allow your fingers to spread more. And articulate back down. Let's do one more and add on. In front of the spine, tuck the tail. We're going to lift the hips by squeezing the glutes, not by popping into the neck. So make sure that you can look from side to side easily and you haven't popped into your cervical spine and lower down. Platform your arms down by your side. Inhale, exhale, in front of the spine, tuck the tail and lift. Draw the right leg to tabletop, extend it to the ceiling. Lower the foot down and lift. Don't let this hip drop. And here's 3, and that's it. Now go across the midline of the body, and then go away. When you do this, your hips shouldn't drop, and your knees shouldn't float from side to side to accommodate the load of your body. Back to center, tabletop the knee, place the foot down, articulate down. Now when I say that, I mean like your leg goes away from the body, so the knee goes to the opposite side. That shouldn't be happening when you do the TikToks, okay? So, inhale, exhale, imprint, articulate up, lift the hips by squeezing the glutes, left leg to tabletop, extend it up. Now make sure that your hips are staying lined up, and lower and lift. So squeeze the glute as you lower the leg. One more. Now go across the body, make sure your legs start moving, and away, and across, and away. It's not really a big movement, guys. And away, back to center, tabletop, lower the foot, articulate down. Now you can just roll to the left side, or I'm going to come up and move my body to the left side again. Again, guys, I'm working on my forearm, but if you want to lay on your side and make your arm into a pillow, please feel free. So, I'm going to line my back up with the back of the mat. My shoulder is directly over my elbow. I have a 90 degree angle from my body to my thighs, 90 degrees from my thighs to my calves. My feet are flexed. I'm going to lift my foot up an inch or 2. Now I'm going to rotate the femur of the hip socket to open the leg and squeeze it back together for 10. And open and squeeze for 2. My abs are in, my ribs are wrapped, my neck is nice and long. I'm squeezing under the arm and lifting up out of my side, not sinking down into my side.
This is the level up from lying on your side for sideline legs. Now, that being said, with shoulder issues, a lot of people can't do this. No problem. Lying on your side and making sure that you're lifting up, keeping your side out of the mat, trying not to collapse into the mat is the next best thing, right? Now open, point your foot, extend the leg at an angle. Bring it back in, bring the inside aspects of your feet together, squeeze your legs back together. And open and kick, bend and squeeze. Open and kick, bend and squeeze. Open, kick. Squeeze under the arm, lift up out of the side closest to the mat. Here's 6, 7, 8, 9, squeeze, and 10. Good. Now we're going to roll back onto our backs again. We're going to do hinge bridges. We're going to do 5 hinge bridges again. And what we're going to do is we're going to add 3 leg circles in each direction. On bridges 4 and 5. So I've walked my heels in closer to my glutes. My feet and knees and legs are no wider than sits bones distance apart. I've platformed my arms down by the side. I've bent my elbows to the side. Don't bend your elbows by bringing your shoulders up. Just bend them slightly to the side, and it'll help you find a nice flat shoulder blade. Now we're going to hinge bridge. I know I just had you place your arms down, but if you're having trouble with rib flaring on the articulation, go ahead and place your thumb at the bottom of your ribs and your pinky finger on your hips. Inhale, exhale, squeeze your glutes, and lift everything up at the same time. It's really easy here to lift up and pop up and flare into your ribs. Go ahead and look gently from side to side. Make sure you're not too much into your cervical spine. Lower it down. When your tail taps, lift it back up, driving the knees over the toes. And lower and tap and lift. After this next one, we're going to go ahead and add on. If you feel like you're not really flaring ribs, go ahead and platform your hands down by your side. Lower and lift. Bend the right knee to tabletop. Extend it to the ceiling. Now, your leg circles can be as small or as big as you would like. Make sure you're squeezing your glutes to lift your hips. And don't lift your hips wobble around when you're doing this. So I like to lower thigh to thigh and bring it around the side and up. And lower thigh to thigh. When I lower it thigh to thigh, I find that I'm less likely to drop that hip for the leg that's moving. And now reverse. Inhale and exhale up. Inhale, squeeze those glutes. One more. Bend the knee to tabletop. Lower the foot down. Lower that hinge bridge and lift. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Left leg to tabletop. Extend it in the air. Lower thigh to thigh and circle to the side. Again, make sure that your leg's not accommodating by going to the side when your leg goes to the side for the load. Now squeeze those glutes away and up. And inhale and exhale. One more. Inhale and exhale. Leg to tabletop, lower it down, hinge bridge down. Whew. From there, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to come to the other side again, since I'm going to be working on my right side again in just a second. Otherwise, you can just roll onto your backs. From there, I'm going to come down, draw the right leg to tabletop, left leg to tabletop, fingertips up to the ceiling out of my sternum 12th row. We're going to do the hundreds and roll up now. So I'm going to inhale, exhale, curl up, and extend my legs long. I'm going to turn them out to Pilates feet, squeeze everything in towards the midline, squeeze my glutes, reach long, squeeze under my arms, just like we've been doing on the sideline work, and begin pumping. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Long, continuous inhale. Long, continuous exhale. Your chin should not be crunched to your chest, and you should be looking up at the ceiling. Imagine that you're holding an egg under your chin. You don't want to lift it up so high that it rolls away and cracks, and you don't want to crunch your chin so hard at your chest that you crush your egg either. Final one. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stop. Go ahead and lower your legs as you lower your head, neck, and shoulders down, and your fingertips float up to the ceiling over your sternum 12th rib. Pull those shoulder blades down to the mat. Squeeze the legs together, still in a Pilates V position. Press down with the backs of the legs. The more you press down with the backs of the legs, the less likely you are to use your legs for momentum, to pull yourself up and roll up. We're going to inhale, begin to peel off our head, neck, and shoulders. As our sacrum begins, our back hips begin to pull, we're going to exhale, reach long over our legs. If our shoulder mobility allows it, we're going to try to reach our biceps up by our ears. If we do not have that shoulder mobility, we're going to stay rounded as if we're rounding over a barrel and reach our fingers lower by the floor. Inhale to pull back. When our back hips start to touch down, we're going to exhale and float down the rest of the way. Inhale, head, neck, and shoulders peel up. Press down with the backs of the legs. Exhale over the legs. Inhale to pull back. Exhale to lower down. Let's do 3 more. Inhale. Exhale over the legs. Inhale to pull back. Press those legs down, 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 down as you round forward. If you're trying to flat back during this exercise, you're going to find that it's a lot harder to get down and up because the weight becomes a lot heavier. And this is our final one, and we're going to exhale to lower. All right, let's go ahead and come onto our side. Guys, I skipped, I did not skip any exercises. I'm sorry, I take that back. All right, so let's go ahead and come on to our forearm. We're going to lift up out of the mat. I'm going to line my body up. Functionally, I learned this from my teacher, Katie Rowley. It makes a lot more sense to do sideline legs in this position because we're not walked around hinging at our hips all day. But if this is too much for your body, go ahead and hinge slightly your hips and bring your legs slightly forward. Lift up out of your side close to the mat. Draw the belly button to the spine, wrap the ribs. Make sure you're not arching in your back when you're doing these exercises. Turn out to Pilates V. Lift the leg up and squeeze it together. And up and down. When we're doing this exercise, you should be doing this. All right, you should stay lifted and just hinge from the hip. Otherwise, you're going to hurt your shoulder and neck, right? 1 more. Now, I've been playing around a little bit, so we're going to do these exercises. I'm going to point my foot and draw my toe up my calf to my knee. Extend the leg. I'm going to leave the, oh, sorry, I got a little cramp. Leave the foot pointed and lower the leg. We're going to do that again. Point and lift and lower. Point and drag and lift and lower. 1 more. Actually, I'm sorry, 1 more now. I lost count. Now, flex the foot. We're going to reverse the whole thing with a flexed foot. Lift it up, bend the foot, tapping the heel to the knee, and slide the heel down the calf, and lift, and bend, and slide down. Here's 4, and 5. Now keep the foot flexed, lift it up, and bend it into a 90-degree position. Make sure that your knee's tracking over your toes so that you're not cranking your foot funny and damaging the integrity of your knee. Now extend the leg, lower the foot until it's about hip height, and pull it back to a 90 degree, like a cowboy kick almost, or a sideways donkey kick. Really rotate the femur in the hip socket the whole time so that you're really working that turnout. Here's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now extend the foot, point it, really rotate the femur in the hip socket so the heel is facing forward. 10 medium circles in each direction, whichever direction you want first, for 10, 9, 8, 7. So a medium circle to me is more like a bender ball size. Keep that turnout and reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, lift up outside, close to the mat. 3, 2, 1, lower the foot down. Now I'm going to roll onto my back real fast. We're going to do the single leg stretch, the double leg stretch and scissors, and then go to the other side. So one foot to tabletop, other foot. Fingertips up out of the sternum 12th rib. Inhale, exhale, lift. Try to keep your legs at 90 degrees. Extend your left leg. Left hand will come to the inside of your left knee. Right hand will come to the outside of the right ankle. And switch. Right hand to the inside of the left knee. Left hand to the, reaching for the outside left ankle. Keep those abs pulling in. Keep a nice flat tail so we're not tucking. We have 2 more on each side. These are all very, very, very controlled. Good. Now keep it in tabletop. Reach for the ankles. We're going to do a modification of the double leg stretch. So we're going to inhale, bend our elbows in so our hands come to our shoulders. And then as we exhale, we're going to reach our hands overhead, reach our legs long, and we're going to pull it in, bending in so our shoulders come to hands come to our shoulders again, and then reach down. Imagine that you're inhaling and taking off your top hat, and then you're putting your top hat back on and coming back to your original position. Again, this is one of those exercises where I'm reaching my biceps by my ears, but if you don't have the shoulder movement to do that, go ahead and reach up towards the ceiling. Extend the legs up to the ceiling. We're going to grab one behind our calf or behind our thigh, depending on our flexibility. We're not going to tuck to do this. We're going to reach our left leg long and pull that right leg. Inhale, exhale, switch, pull. My leg's coming to me. I'm not lifting to my leg. Honestly, sometimes I prefer to reach behind my thigh because it's a different kind of stretch. I really like it. One more on each side. Draw the knees in. Rest your head against shoulders. Rest your feet on the mat. Go ahead and roll to the other side if you like, or you can just reach up and switch sides like I'm about to do. To do the other side, turned out sideline legs. Again, I'm up on my forearm, but if it bothers you or if you're done with your neck, go ahead and lay down, make your arm into a pillow. I'm going to line up my elbow underneath my shoulder. I'm going to put my body in a straight line, but again, if you prefer, you can hinge slightly at the hips, but keep the belly drawn in, ribs wrapped, lift up out of the mat, whether you are lying down or on your forearm. If you're on your forearm, really squeeze the shoulder blade down your back and squeeze under the arm. Turn the legs out to a Pilates V and lift the leg and squeeze it together for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now with the pointed foot, draw the toe along the calf to the knee, extend the leg, squeeze it down. Really rotate the femur and the hip socket the whole time. So it's really a nice turnout exercise here. Here's 3. Squeeze under the arm, lift up outside close to the mat. 4. And here's 5. And lower. Now flex the foot, flex to lift, bend the knee, foot still flexed, tap the heel by the knee, slide the heel down the calf and flex the lift and bend and slide. Here's 3. Here's 4. And here's 5. Now, keeping the foot flexed, float it up to hip height, bend it into 90 degrees. Make sure that your knee is tracking over your big toe. Now straighten and lower the foot down to hip height and bring it back to 90 degrees and bend it down. Here's 3. and 4. If you feel your hips starting to pop, try stopping it at 90 degrees. Really make sure it's stopping at 90 degrees. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Now extend the foot to hip height. Point the foot, really rotate the femur in the hip socket so your heel's facing out. 10 medium-sized or bendable size circles in each direction. Your choice which direction. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lower the foot down. Let's go ahead and do the double leg lower left and elbow to knee before we do some parallel sideline legs. No sideline leg variation is going to be left out today, right? Inhale, exhale, lower it down. Bend both legs into tabletop, extend it up to the ceiling. I'm gonna leave my legs parallel. Don't tuck your legs here, right? Try to leave a nice flat sacrum. Platform your arms down by your side. We're gonna work here with our head, neck, and shoulders down today. Since we've been doing so much work on our forearms, we're gonna rest our head, neck, and shoulders real fast. So flex your feet, lower 1, 2, 3. Point the feet. Exhale. With your abs drawn into your belly, float the legs up. Flex the feet and lower 1, 2, 3. Point the feet. Exhale. And lift. Flex the feet and lower. 2, 3. Point the feet and lift. Let's do one more. Flex the feet and lower. 2, 3. Point the feet and lift. Now, don't move the thighs, just bend the knees. Place your hands behind your head. Interlace your fingers. Lace your thumbs long down your neck. Now lift the elbows slightly so you can see in your periphery. Draw your ribs together. Drop the belly button to the spine. Inhale. Exhale to lift without tucking your tail. Extend the left leg. Now imagine you're on like a spit, like a rotisserie spit. Rotate to the right knee. Come back through center, draw the left leg in. Extend the right leg. Rotate to the left knee. Come back through center. Extend the left leg. Rotate to the right knee. And back through center. Guys, I'm trying to keep that leg that I'm rotating towards at a 90-degree angle still, right? Just like we did in single leg and double leg. Let's do 2 more to each side. One more to each side. Sometimes it's even harder to stay controlled and go slower in these exercises than the other way. Go ahead and rest your head and your shoulders. Give your knees a hug real fast and gently rock from side to side. Mostly just because it feels nice, right? All right. Now go ahead and roll to your right side, wherever it might be. I'm still on my forearm, guys, but if you want to lay down on your side and make your arm into a pillow, please feel free. I'm lined up, but if you want to hinge your hips slightly, please feel free to do so. My feet are flexed in parallel. I'm squeezing up under my arm. I'm lifting up on my side close to the mat no matter where I am. Trying to stay in a neutral spine to the side, right? I'm going to float my top foot up to hip height parallel. I'm going to squeeze my legs together with my inner thigh and pull them apart with my outer hip or glute muscles. I don't want to pull up here. I'm working a different set of muscles there. I want to stay right here, right? I'm squeezing together, pull it apart. Squeeze and pull. Guys, go ahead and draw that belly to the spine. Wrap the ribs. This exercise is as hard as you make it. So really press energy out through the heel and squeeze it together and pull it apart. I've heard act like you're moving through mud. I've heard act like you're moving through Jell-O. You want to make sure that you're staying hip height though. You don't want to bring it above. Here's 9. One more, and here's 10. Stay there. Now, don't sink your side close with mat foot. Use your inner thigh of your bottom foot to squeeze it together and lower. And squeeze, lower. Here's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Don't round that top shoulder in. One more. Good. Now leave that top foot hip height. Bring the foot forward just like you had it in clam, and a donkey kick to the front, and squeeze it, squeezing the glutes, stacking the feet right on top of each other, and bring it forward and back. Now the load of the leg coming forward is challenging to your body. So really stabilize, wrap those ribs, draw the belly to the spine, squeeze under the arms. Good. Here's 6, 7, the leg's not coming behind yet. 8, that'll be in a minute, if we so choose to. 9 and 10. Good, keep them separated. Point the foot and bring it forward. Now flex and pull it back and squeeze the glute to pull the leg, the foot behind each other. Just so like you're toe to heel here, guys. You don't need to pull it back so far that you've lost your balance. Point it forward, now flex and pull it back. Keep your body stable. 3. If this is too much for you, go ahead and just stack foot over foot. We don't want to hurt our backs or anything like that. 6. Here's 7. Here's 8. Here's 9. Ooh. And here is 10. Stack those feet on top of each other. Let's roll onto our stomachs. We're going to be doing some swan work. Whew. I'm going to lower my forehead down to the mat. Squeeze my legs together. I like to keep mine in a little baby Pilates V. I bring my hands under my shoulders, squeeze my biceps into my ribs, slide my shoulder blades down my back. Now draw your belly button up to your spine and wrap your ribs. I've heard people say, like, imagine you have a trail of ants going underneath your stomach. I don't think anybody's feeling okay to let a trail of anything go under their stomach at this point in class. So just give it a upward motion, and let's all pray for the best and hope no ants come along, right? So I'm going to inhale. My head's going to come up first. Like the tip top of my head is my first vertebra. I'm going to slide my shoulders down my back and extend up, 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 up. And then exhale to lower. We're just going to do 3 here. Inhale, head first, ribs wrapped, belly button to spine. Don't look up at the ceiling. You're most likely looking up at the front of your mat. You want to keep a nice, continuous curve from the tip top of your head out through your tailbone. One more. Now lower down, rest your forehead. We've done a lot of leg work, so I'm not going to do a single leg, but draw the belly up to the spine, wrap the ribs, squeeze the glutes and float both legs off. Gently, just an inch or 2, and lower. You shouldn't feel pressure in your back here. You should feel a real big glute squeeze, right? And lift, and lower. Now one more and stay there. Now inhale, begin to lift up into a swan, and as you lift, your legs will naturally lower. Now as you lower, keep that squeeze in your glutes and lift your legs as your forehead lowers to the mat. Inhale, lift the head, lower the legs. Guys, this is a modified swan dive. Exhale to lower, lift the legs. One more. Inhale, upper body lifts, lower body lowers. Exhale, lower body lifts, head lowers. Lower those legs down. Use your hands to press back into a child's pose position. Relax into the child's pose. Take a nice couple deep breaths. See if you can get your heels to your glutes. If this bothers your knee, find a different stretch that you enjoy here. This is just a nice counter stretch. You can cat-cow. You can standing cat-cow. Inhale, exhale. Without moving your hips, walk your hands over to the left side of the mat. exhale to the right side of the mat. Try to keep the back hip down. Inhale through center, and then exhale to articulate up, 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 up. Great. Let's go ahead and lie on our left side for left side parallel legs. So again, I'm on my forearm. My elbow is directly under my shoulder. I'm lifting up out of my side. If you did the other side on your forearm, please do this side on your forearm too. We have pronated sideline legs left. You can lie down on your side for that one for sure, but try to equal off both sides. If you need to, go ahead and hinge at your hips slightly. Otherwise, try to stack your head in line with your shoulders, shoulders in line with hip, hip in line with ankles. Flex your feet, pull it up to hip height. Again, we want to keep it at hip height to really isolate the outer thigh muscles. Now squeeze in with your inner thigh and pull it apart to hip height. Squeeze and pull. Shoot energy out of your heel to really lengthen that top leg. Draw your belly button to your spine, wrap your ribs together. Nice long neck, squeeze under the arm. If you're lying on your side, go ahead and lift up out of your side with your obliques. Again, another place where you're like, imagine you have a trail of ants. I've never been that person, but some people are, right? Here's 9, give it at hip height. One more. Now, leaving that foot up, squeeze the inner thigh on the bottom leg and lift that foot and lower. Don't sink the body to make this happen. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lower that leg down. Now, swing that leg forward to the clam position and donkey kick, pressing energy through the heel, stack foot over foot. And forward and press. And forward. Here's 4, 5. Imagine you're like sliding along a table so it's not dipping or lifting. Belly button to spine, wrap the ribs. Here's 9 and 10. Point the foot, kick it forward, and flex to pull it back. Squeeze the glute when hip stacks over hip, so that if you pull your leg behind you, you have a toe to heel situation. You don't need to pull it back really any further than that. Some people are able to, but don't feel like you have to. Here's 3, lift up out of that side. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, and 10. Stack your legs, press yourself up to sitting. Go ahead and extend your legs in front of you, hip width distance, or maybe a little bit wider apart. They shouldn't go wider than the mat most likely, right? Flex your toes strongly over your knees. Sit up tall, tall, tall. Shoulders over your hips. Palms facing each other, coming out of your sternum, 12th rib. Let's do spine stretch and saw. I'm going to inhale, look down at my thighs, and exhale, reach over my legs. Guys, again, this is like a roll-up situation or a double leg stretch situation. Inhale to pull back, exhale to sit tall. If I have the shoulder capacity, I'm going to reach my biceps by my ears. Inhale to begin the articulation. Exhale to reach long. Inhale to pull back. Exhale to sit up. If I have shoulder issues, it might look something like this. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Did you see how my hands went down? Hovered along the mat. Otherwise, leave them where they are. Keep them parallel with the mat. Parallel with the mat. Parallel with the mat. Open your arms to a T. Bring them forward slightly in your periphery. Press down on the pinky blade edge. Rotate to the right. Flip the back palm up. Saw that baby toe off. Come back through center. flip the palm, rotate to the left, flip the back palm up, soft that baby toe, back through center. This is a trick my trainer Katie Rowley taught me to keep people's shoulders down. Flip the palm up. Let's come back through center. Let's do one more on each side. I lost count. And back through center. Now let's give our legs a shake. One more set of sideline legs, guys. If coming up on your forearm, if you're done, come down on your side, make your hand into a pillow. Try not to round forward. Try to lift up still in that straight line with a neutral spine for your sideline legs. So, for pronated legs, it's not going to be really on my body. It's not something you can really see. I lifted up onto my forearm again, but you don't have to be. I'm going to lift my foot up to hip height. I'm going to rotate so that my knee and my toe are pointed in. It's going to be a weird rotation. We're like going more knock-kneed, right? Don't force it too much. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come forward and pull it back so we're stacking leg over leg. So still the forward back, but we're not forcing it behind us in this weird leg position, right? It'll feel a little different. 4, 5, 6. Make sure you're not coming back to parallel because that's the easiest. Squeeze underneath so you're lifting up out of the mat. Nice long necks. Belly button to spine. One more. Wrap the ribs. And now keeping that pronate position, lift the foot up and back to hip height. Your foot won't lift up as high, or mine does not. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stay here. We're going to do hot potato with our foot pronated, toes touching the whole time. So touch the toes in front of the toes, tiny rainbow, heel to toe in front, toes behind the heel in the back. Here's 3, and tap, 4, and tap, 5, and tap, 6, 7, 8. This is the hardest one for me, and 10. Good. Stack your legs, come up to sitting. I'm going to do classical mermaid. If this is not accessible to you, you can sit in a Z-sit position, you can sit in a crisscross applesauce, or you can sit in diamond. If you sit in Z-sit or crisscross applesauce, please switch your leg when you go to the other side. So, I'm going to sit with my legs stacked in classical mermaid, bring my arms to a T, lower my hand down, so my hand is actually closer to my knee. So when I bend to the side, I'm actually getting more oblique and I'm not getting into my back. I'm going to straighten up, flip my hands back to the T, bring my left hand across my right knee palm up, and reach over to the left side. Since I was working on my right side, this is the side of mermaid I'm doing first. I'm going to bring my arms back out to a T, place my right hand back down, drive my shoulder down my back. I'm going to do that by bending my elbow into my hip. We don't want to crunch into our shoulders here. And one more. Good. Now we're going to go to the other side. If you're sitting in classical mermaid, you can swing your legs around. You can change to the other Z-sit. You can switch or flip your leg to crisscross applesauce, or if you're working in diamond, you can stay there. Arms to the T. Now we're bending to the left side first. My left hand will come down, closer to my left knee. I'll reach my right arm up and over, reaching for where the wall and the ceiling meet on the left side. Drive my left shoulder down my back. Come back up to a T. Flip my right hand across my left knee, palm up, and reach for where the wall and the ceiling meet on the right side. Arms back up to the T. Place the hand down, elbow to hip, come back up to the T. And one more. Now from there, since since we're already on the left side, we can just come down for pronated side lying legs on the left side. Again, I am on my forearm, squeezing up out of the side closest to the mat. You can make your arm into a pillow. I've stacked my head and my shoulders and my hips and my ankles. I'm going to float my foot up to hip height. I'm going to do the weird internal rotation, pronation thing. So instead of rotating by squeezing, I'm going to rotate by bringing my leg into the inside. Now from there, I'm going to come forward and pull it back to stack foot over foot, and forward and pull it back. Draw the belly button to the spine, wrap the ribs. There's 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now stay there. Now lift the foot and squeeze it together till it's hip height, not all the way down. 2. Keep breathing. Oh, this foot's starting to shake a little bit. Ah! I think it's done. Here's 8, 9, and 10. Keep it at hip height. Hot potato, tapping the toes in front of the toes and behind the heel. So toes and heel, toes and heel, toes and heel. Squeeze up out of the side, closest to the mat. 9, 10. Stack the legs, press yourself up to sitting. I'm gonna find a nice diamond position. Since I'm in an elevated mat, I'm gonna come in at an angle. I love this series. If you've taken other mat classes with me before, you've probably done this. I love to end classes with it. I'm going to place my hands gently with a little bit more weight on my pinky blade edge on my shin below my kneecap. With just my upper body, I'm going to crease at my sternum 12 third, look between my legs, and I'm going to look up, lifting my necklace area or my sternum to where the wall and the ceiling meet. Inhale to lower down. Exhale to lift. One more. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Now come back to neutral. We're going to use our fingertips to press our spine longer, creating space between our vertebrae, not to force rotation. So I'm going to rotate to the left. I'm going to place my fingertips right beside my body or behind my body, and right on my shin, underneath my kneecaps. I'm going to lift taller and try to look behind myself. Rotate back through center, place my fingertips where they will go. My mat is non-existent. I'm going to act like I'm pressing on something. I'm going to look behind my body. Inhale through center. Exhale to grow taller as I rotate. Inhale through center. Exhale to grow taller as I rotate. One more to each side. Final exercise. I'm going to lift my hands up to the ceiling, hopefully biceps by ears. If this is not accessible to me because of shoulder issues, I can come to a prayer position or place my fingertips on my shoulders. From there, I'm going to reach for where the wall and the ceiling meet to the right, and really pull in on those obliques to come back up to center. And then I'm going to go to the left, keeping that opposite hip down. Use my right side obliques to pull back up to center. And to the right. Keep that right hip, or that left hip down. Mine wanted to pop up a little bit, but I pulled it down. One more to each side. I'm going to see if I can really keep that left hip down this time. And exhale to lift. One more to the left. Now keeping your hands through there. Inhale. Exhale to lower down, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for Leg Day. If you have any questions or need any modifications, please feel free to reach out, and I hope to see you again. Thank you.